Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me to come in here to your Congress. I'm going to speak in English. I'm sorry for my not so good English, but I think it's better than my perfect Portuguese. And I hope you can understand that. I'm going to talk a little about Brazil and our experience as a dealer and as a dealer group, and maybe something about the future. Brazil is a big country. We have 8.5 million square meters, around 11 times the area of Turkey, and 2.75 times the population of Turkey. We have about 205 million people. It's the fifth of the world, and 8.5 million kilometers, and we have a 2.5 million sales last year. We have 42 brands in Brazil, with 23 brands that has plants in Brazil, and about 4,000 dealerships. This is our population density. We are a big country, but we have big cities and a lot of spare places. This is the figure for our industry in Brazil. We came from 2004 for 1.5 million until 2012 with 3.8 million, 3.650 million. But we are facing a lot of problems in Brazil right now with the economics and politics, and we had a very bad, the last 2 years were very bad. We had from 12 to 13 and 10% decrease. From 14 to 15, we had a 26% of decrease, and we are expecting a decrease on 30% this year. So we are coming back 10 years. We are coming back for the number that we did in 2004, 2005. It's really a difficult time in Brazil, but things are starting to change. We're gonna, right now at this moment, the parliament is voting for the impeachment for the president, and maybe the things will start to change because we've made wrong choices, and we have to do better ones from now. I particularly have an opinion that as soon as we are able to export a lot of good soccer players, we should import some governors and some people to work on the government in Brazil. Maybe it will be good. Brazil has opportunity to grow because in USA you have 1.1 to 1 car per habitant, in Argentina 4 to 1, Mexico 5 to 1, in Brazil 6 to 1. But the biggest city in Brazil, they already have 1.8 to 2.5 cars per habitant, so maybe the increase of sales will be on the countryside. The Brazil scenario, we have an inflation of around 9%, a nominal interest rate of 15%, so a real interest rate about 6%. Gross domestic product is decreasing the last 2 years, so last year was 3.8, this year maybe 3.5 or 4, something like that. Unemployment of 10%. The auto market decreased about 50% in 2 years. And as I said, it's a tough time in Brazil, but I will stop to talk about Brazil now because I could spend the whole day, and it's so difficult time now there. I'm going to talk about Grupo Pavi. It's our dealer group. We are a family business. My father started the business with a Mercedes-Benz truck dealership in 1980. We still are a family-owned company, and we run the company, me and my 2 brothers and my father. Now we have 73 dealerships of 19 brands on 13 states and 23 cities, and 20 other facilities to support the dealerships. So it's 93 total sites of dealerships. We also have an insurance broker, the Pavi Corretora, and another company called Pavi Consórcio. It's a Brazilian alternative for financing the cars, and some other related companies. We are based my city, my hometown is Recife. Okay. My hometown is Recife, who is in the northeast on the coast, and it has influenced a metro area that comes from Natal to Maceió. It's a big area. These are our locations. We have some dealerships on the north and some on the northeast, some on the south. It's spread. We had also different brands. We actually took the opportunities when they appeared, and those 15, 20 years that we had the opportunity to grow with the market. These are some pictures of our dealerships, not any different from yours or Fiat, Hyundai, Renault. These are our number of cars and trucks that we sold through the years. We had a record in 2014 of 94,000, and in 2015 we went down to almost 84,000. It was not a bad thing because the market went down 26% and we did less than that. This is 60% new retail, 10% fleet, and 30% used. This is the total revenue for the whole group, about $1.7 billion. We had almost 5,300 employees. This is our sales by brand. It's well divided, well balanced. Some Toyota, Ford, Fiat, and Volkswagen, Hyundai are the biggest, but the others has their share. Talking about the profit contribution, the new is still very important for us. 34% of the profit comes from the new vehicles, 26% from the used, 24% for parts and service, and 16% of F&I. Challenges of growing a small family-owned dealership into a complex, diverse, and big company. It's really very different to run a single dealership than to run a group like this. So the pillars for our sustainable growth, for us, is to be a leader on the market in sales, be a leader in terms of customer satisfaction, on employee satisfaction, on the relationship with the community, on cost efficiency, and be lean and be fast. We need to have clear goals for the people who run our dealerships, establish process but focus on foreign people. We hire, train, and develop people. It's the only way for sustainable growth. We don't hire external people to manage the dealership. We just promote our internal people. And we need to get these benefits of the scale, but trying to keep simple, lean, and fast to be efficient. Okay, but that's all about the past, and I think we all want to know it's something about the future. We all want to transform the future. That's what we intend to do. But to transform the future is not so easy. Because as the professor Silvio Meira from Brazil says, the future is the imperfect execution of the unknown at the present. It's a tricky thing because we have the present, we have the history of the past, and we think of the future as a single picture, but it really doesn't work like that. We have different scenarios, different possibilities of future, and what we try to do is try and error thing. We try one way and we come back and we go back, and we have to try those things to make innovation, to try to make the path for the right future. And what's the future of the automobile distribution system? That's what everyone is talking about right now. That's what we talk about this since I began on the business 25 years ago. And how the new digital world would impact the system. In the last 5 decades, we passed through 5 waves of digital innovation. On the 70s, there come the hardware. In the 80s, the softwares. On the 90s, start the networks and connective and internet. On the 2000, the social, mobile, and we are now starting to face the big difference is going to happen with the big data and the Internet of Things, where things will talk to things, and this will change everything. So these 5 revolutions digitalized and connected the society. We have more than 50% of the cell phones on the world are smartphones. On Brazil, it's more than 80%. And this changed the rule of the game for everyone and forever. Now the companies are getting like this picture, and we are trying to figure out how to work in this new environment. It's really a tough thing because I'm a car dealer. I worked in every department and every position at the dealership, and we knew how to deal with that. We knew how to sell. We knew to do the service department, and now everything is changing so fast that we need to take care, not to only. I think one of the mistakes that we make is trying to digitalize analog process. We are doing this because it's necessary, but this is challenging because we need to think about a new process, a completely new and digital process. It's a digital transformation that has changed the society definitely into a network and its flows that's digital, it's connected, it's mobile, and it's personalized. Now everyone can personalize what he wants, when he wants, where he wants to go, and how he wants to work with that. And there's a lot more to come. According to Gordon Moore's law for digital electronic, every 2 years it has double the capacity and the performance for the same price. So every 2 years we double the capacity and the performance for the digital and the computers and everything for the same price. And what's changing in our industry? We have some initiatives. We have Tesla is doing a good job, but I think Tesla is doing a good job, but still a product-oriented business is not a completely new business model. We have the electric cars, TrueCar.com, autonomous cars, but we mainly still work as we always did. At our dealership, we still work as we always did. Automotive industry is still a product-oriented business instead of customer-oriented business. I thought something here. The mass production industries are impelled by a great drive to produce all they can. The prospect of steeply declining unit cost as output rise is more than most companies can usually resist. Industry is blinded with its narrow preoccupation of a specific product and the values of its reserves, and it's paying little or no attention to its needs, customer basic needs and preference. Who said that was Mr. Theodore Levitt in a famous paper called Market Myopia at Harvard Business Review. And what's amazing is that he wrote that in 1960. And I don't know what you think, but I think we still have the same problem nowadays. We still have an industry that's product-oriented and not customer-oriented. And I think this is the big challenge for us. We have to think about if we want to just sell cars, if we are on the selling car business, or if we are on the transportation business, what the customer needs nowadays. Yesterday, I went to dinner at the restaurant on the other side, the Asian side, and we took a car, and Mr. Gulli said, oh, it's better if you stop and take the boat, and you cross on the boat. It takes 10 minutes instead of 1 hour to go by car. And don't you think that this is the same thing that the people want, a system that can take you from somewhere and take you to another place? And are we in this business, or are we just selling cars and more cars? He also says on this article that motorists repeatedly express their dissatisfaction with service and their apprehensions about buying cars under the present selling setup. The anxieties and problems they encounter during the auto buying and maintenance process are probably more intense and widespread today than 30 years ago. Yet the automobile company do not seem to listen or to take their cues from the anguished consumer. If they do listen, it must be through the filter of their own preoccupation with production. According to Roger Martin from University of Toronto, we all tend to continue exploring knowledge, product, service, and business models that give us results in our social economic structures, but that no longer serves our class and customers. An example of that is the Kodak moment. A company was founded in 1888. In the decade of 1970, Kodak had 90% of the photograph film market in the US, and it just disappeared from like this. This was the best innovation they did. It was a pocket camera, but they didn't realize that the customer is changing, the innovation, the digital and everything, and they just run out of this business. So the habits of the society are changing. The act of choosing a car, buying it, maintaining and sell it is not what customer demands. We should not only try to sell more cars, but give solutions to our customer needs, or we will be replaced of the market from an outsider. We can see some experiments. We can see some car sharing companies. We can see the Uber moment, and it isn't something that we inside the industry shouldn't did that. We are allowing other companies from outside to do that for us because we are so product-oriented that we are unable to give the solution the customer wants. Okay, but what are we trying to do as Grupo Pavi to face these challenges? Because if you don't have a strategy, you are part of someone else's strategy. Our strategy is as a single brand dealer, because we still are a single dealer. And how do we work? We have for each brand, we have a brand manager, and we have all the goals of that brand that we focus to do that. We persist to be the best in class in each brand and each market, to keep the standards of the brand. We need to have clear goals for the brand manager and focus on core business, new car sales and service department. But as a group, we have some things that we found that better works if we centralize. We are changing this from the last 5 years to now. It didn't use it to be that. All the dealership did everything, but we perceived that we need to make some rationalization. And now we have a centralized back office, finance and insurance, used cars, human resource, technology information, marketing, digital, experience, call center, and CRM. Our goal is to provide the whole change of products and services that our customers need for the shopping experience, maintenance, and sale of their automobile. Explore all sales channels. We have some related companies we focus on maintaining the customers. I talked about our insurance broker, our consortium, the alternative way of financing the cars. We have a tracking company called SegSat and a rental fleet company. And a database with 1.3 million customer updated. This is I think it's the most important thing we are taking care of now. We have a team of 80 people take care of them and trying to make the whole life cycle of the client since he touched the dealership or the phone or lead or internet, and till he buys the car, maintain and sell the car, we have our agenda to talk to him, and that's why we are trying to give him what he wants and not only the car that he asked us to buy when he arrived. I think as a group we are more able to do that than as a single dealer, and we are trying to make some initiatives for the new customer demands. We're trying to bring a little piece of that future to the present, some tries to see how it works and see if we can be part of this future. One of them is the Drive. Drive is a service provided by our tracking company, SegSat, that with an onboard diagnosis, an OBD, we put on the car, and with the smartphone, we can track the car, map the behavior of the vehicle and the driver. The device works with a Bluetooth. We've developed that. And we have the panel with the driver's information, the vehicles, and we made a punctuation and scale of punctuation to evaluate the performance of the driver for him to be more safe and more not consuming too much. So he has on his smartphone the cockpit and all the information about the car, and if the car appears an error on the central board, they give the information to the customer and also to the dealer. So it's like we are monitoring the clients online wherever they are. This is a new product. We are just taking some experiments, but we are trying to hold, for the whole cars we sell, we would like to put one of these OBD systems. Another try is we developed a new multi-brand retail platform channel. We call it autopavi.com, that we like to offer the customer all the brands, all the new cars, the used cars, the service and everything in the whole life cycle of the vehicle. We want to do it only one platform, and this platform, we call it a new way to buy cars. It's a different approach, different people, not the traditional salespeople that we already had in our dealership. We are training them differently to give another approach for the customer, where he can go on our website or call us, and we can sell whatever brand and whatever car he wants. All the products that we already have, all the brands that we already have, we are selling, but we think that we should sell not only the brands that we represent, but all the cars that the client demands. It's just an example of the website, and we think that we can bring that to the bricks. We can put, like, for example, we did an exhibition at the mall with Autopavi, with all the brands together, and it's a new experience. We have just launched that on October last year, and we're still testing and see what's the customer behavior. But we are trying to make to create these alternatives that I think we, as a group of dealers, we can try to do that, not just suffering from the market myopia, to trying to see what the customer demands and offer him what he demands. So these are some pictures, and thank you very much. That's what I would like to share with you. Thank you very much.